Hello everyone and welcome to Assetto Corsa. And today we'll be using the Abarth, I think that's how you say it, to do 10 laps around Brands Hatch, and off we go into lap 1. Now from the start here you can see these cars really aren't that fast, so this is the Indy version of Brands Hatch, which is still pretty good for this kind of car as we give the person on the outside a little bit of a tap and nearly lose it into corner 1. And we have slight damage on our left side going into corner 2. We go side by side, leave it in third gear I believe, just for a little bit extra grip, and then power down the hill. Now here's a bit of a tricky corner. You want to get light onto the brakes, shift down to third, and then just turn in, but at the same time use the gas to pull yourself out of the corner as fast as you can. Now here's the really tricky part of this track. You can either let off or brake for this pass corner, or you can just kind of let the car roll in and then shift down to third and then try to keep as much grip as you can. And just rolling it kind of works, but at the same time it kind of doesn't if it goes bad. So now at the end of lap 1 we have moved up a few positions. We're now in 8th I mean, and we nearly sent into the back of the Abarth in front of us as they brake at different points as we do. Now coming into corner 2, we're going to try to keep as close to the car in front as we can, as the red car in front runs a little bit wide. Maybe we can make up some time on him. Using fourth gear, trying not to hit the car in front of us, taking a tight line through here but getting on the gas as early as possible. I'm not sure if the slipstream really works in Assetto Corsa. I really don't feel it compared to not being in it, but hopefully it makes a difference here and there. Now coming into this corner, we're just going to shift down to third, try to turn the car in, and then use the gas to hit the apex, and hopefully just get under his rear wing and not lose too much time, as we're actually gaining on him a little bit. The car in front goes defensive, so I go to the outside into corner 1. I tried to leave it in a higher gear so I don't hit him on the inside, and it kind of works, and we actually do get the move done. And I think that's just because I stayed in 4th and not 3rd, and we may have actually gained a little bit of time on the 2 cars in front, but I do believe he's still on my inside, just now leaving at the end of corner 2. Now coming into corner 4, I shifted down a little bit late. Hopefully that doesn't affect our time too much, but we did unfortunately lose or create a little bit of a gap to the cars in front of us from our little battle we had into T1. Now at the end of lap 3, hopefully we can get into the slipstream, and I do hope it works, since I do see other cars in front of me kind of sitting behind each other. So there's a good chance that it does work, so I set myself down behind this red car in front of me, and hopefully they take a pretty good line I can follow, as I nearly lose it again into T1. It's just a really hard corner when you're a very light car and you're just going in slightly too fast, I think. Now here I can leave it in 3rd and pretty much turn in as much as I want to, and we have actually caught up to the 2 cars in front of us, and we've built a little bit of a gap behind us, which is pretty good in my opinion. Now another thing about this car is there is a lot of turbo lag when it comes to shifting up and down the gears, and you can actually see how much turbo lag there is by checking the little bar down there under my rev gauge. See when the turbo's full and when it's not, as we get a little bumpy on the inside of the last turn here, and we've caught up right to the back of this red car in front of us. And now I'm going to try to send a move up the inside into corner 1. Hopefully we don't get hit, and hopefully he sees me as it gets really tight, so I brake a little bit early, try to hold my line at least, but he does unfortunately get a better exit than me as I got a little squiggly there. Now going to try to attack into turn 2, which it does work. I did a late dive bomb and nearly lost the car again here, but somehow he's still on my inside going into corner 3, so I'm going to run a little bit wide, shift down late purposely this time to hopefully get a straighter exit, and somehow he's still on my inside I believe, and now he's fully pulled out. I guess he realized that he wouldn't be a good idea to battle me into the final corner, as the car in front of us goes a little bit too slow for my liking, and I nearly smash into it. and I do think we are going to catch up to it on this front stretch here. and we're just going to have to try to send another one up the inside or the outside, most likely the inside this time here. I decided to back out of this move a little bit early, and then I came back super late, and I somehow almost got the move done as he's still on our outside, I believe. Nope, the marker has disappeared. We have got the move done, but he's now right behind us trying to send one up the inside himself. Now, unfortunately, due to all that fighting, there's a slightly bigger gap in front of us here. So I'm just going to have to race my best line, and hopefully I don't lose any more position to the guys in front. But at the same time, I have to keep constantly checking my mini-map for the guys in the back, making sure they don't send one up my inside or the outside. And we actually have caught up a little decent amount by taking that section flat out. I think that's kind of like my A section, since the AI usually break there. Now coming to the end of lap 6 on to lap 7, we are now in P5, only about 0.4 seconds from 4th place here. So we're just going to try to take our best line, make up as much time as we can. As you see, all the cars in front are in a slipstream kind of, and we do set the fastest lap, which is kind of cool. Just turning in our car as much as we can, getting on the power as early as we can. Now I'm going to brake a little bit earlier just to not send it into the back of this car in front of me. And we're just going to try to sit inside the slipstream and wait until we get to the front stretch at least to make a move. I'm going to take this section flat out. Well, not flat out, but not on the brakes at least. Thinking about sending one up the inside, but decided not to. Now we're just going to use 3rd gear to pull us out of the corner and then get into the slipstream so we can make a move later on into this next lap. I'd just like to say, if you guys like the content, feel free to subscribe. I have more Assetto Corsa videos and other racing games, now including Race Room thanks to my new PC. And now back to the race. Now coming into turn 2 on lap 8, we're just right behind this little green car in front of us, and we make up as much time as we can to him in this corner. Nearly had enough momentum to send it up the inside, but he did block us, seeing it coming. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing coming into the faster turns. And I think with this car, the best way to drive it is to keep up as much momentum as you possibly can, because then you really can't be stopped. People will see you're going way faster than them and try not to get in your way, just like here. I nailed my braking point perfectly just to not hit the car in front. Now we're going side by side onto the front stretch here, maybe even into T1 if he doesn't get the slipstream from in front. And we're less than a few feet away from each other going into turn 1 now. I brake a little bit early to not lose it like the green car just did. You can see the rear end of this car likes to slide out if you have too much momentum. But unfortunately we did lose the position, and we only have about 2.5 laps to go. Well, 2 now. And we're just going to keep as much momentum as we possibly can. Decide to try to send one around the outside here. Just turn in and get on the gas as early as possible here. And somehow we are still side by side going into this tricky chicane here. And at this moment I realized that I was not going to enjoy this. As you can see, my backing kind of kicked out, and I completely just bottled it. And that's a whole bunch of positions gone. Now I'll show you in the replay mode what happened here. Now if you look, I am the red car, and if you just look at my wheels, you'll see for some reason I just snapped and turned, and I just completely bottled it into the grass. That is one of the reasons I do not like that corner. It just feels so uneven going into there with speed that you just don't know when your car will lose grip or how it will lose grip. You just know eventually you will bottle it into that corner. Now unfortunately that means from P5 to P9, and we only have 1 lap to go. So the best we can do at this point is try to defend our P9. But yeah, you can see, Brands Hatch, it's not that easy even with some of the slowest cars here. Decide to just try to play defensive here, don't try to push my car anymore. If I can at least bring home P9, I'll be satisfied here. Now just going to hit our braking points as usual. And then I see that the cars in front of us are going a little bit slower here. So I decide to try to push a little, maybe I can gain a few positions in the final corner. Still going to roll the car in as fast as I possibly can just to see how much time I could have made up. Then we actually do get to the back of the black car in front of us, but unfortunately it is too late, and that's going to be a P9 for this 10 lap race. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, subscribe, and peace out.